Let me know when you guys in the comments. Peace, peace, peace. First comment of the day, Lakeisha. You never miss. You never miss. You never miss. Real name put in the goat emoji. I appreciate that, real man. Theo, welcome in. Welcome in. Peace to you, Angel Jones. Welcome in. Sadi, peace. Welcome in. Stephanie Bell, peace to you. Rise. Rise to you. Thank you for the flowers. Thank you for the flowers, Lakeisha. Thank you for buying our books too. Lakeisha, that's dope. You posting our books. You bought Jamie's book too. That is support on a whole nother level. Thank you so much. And please let us know what you think of these books once you throw them as well. Stephanie, peace to you. Peace to you, Queen. Where am I going looking all sharp? You guys know I have a studio of actors, so we had to do a little work today. Putting together some more visuals and things of that nature. Jackie Rogers, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. I'm gonna give you guys some time to come in. I'm sure you guys saw the last night's lives and a little bit of today's, where there's some falling outs. And I just want to say I heard what everybody had to say. Peace to you, Miss White. I see you. Welcome in. Let's see here. Jackie, peace to you. Anthony, what's up with you? One tired. Jen, what's up with you? Grand rise to you, King. What's up to you, King Cadian? Hope everything's doing well with you. But anyway, guys, I saw what you guys had to say. I've taken some time and listened to what everybody had to say. So I've listened to the entirety of your lives. Of course, I heard my name mentioned quite a few times, so I feel obligated to come forth and just kind of share my thoughts on it. So if you guys put out a video surrounding the situation with Ashley D, D Ham, Jared, Retta, Miss White, any of you guys that were involved, if you are here, please speak to me in the chat so I can make sure that you're here. And if they are not here, see if you can get in touch with them and have them come over, please. I just want to give my thoughts on what everybody said, and hopefully we can, get some clarity. Rise, Angie, I'm so glad that you're here as well. I really want you to hear this too. Thank you so much for how much emotional support that you have shown towards Ashley, the friend that you've been to her. Thank you so much for the advice you tried to offer by way of trying to navigate these YouTube streets and everyone in them. Retta, welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you. So I heard you're live too, Retta. I heard what you guys had to say. And I'm going to take a moment just to allow everybody to come in. When I see all you guys are here, I'll just go into it. Because I don't want any of you guys to miss this. I don't want anybody going to tell them that I'm talking about them and then they misunderstand it. And then they just go in on me. And they haven't heard what I was actually saying. So I'd rather them be here for the whole conversation. We've seen how that can happen. So I want to say this. I hope everybody's having a good day. I do understand, though, if you likely are not due to, last night or whatever's going on right now. Hopefully after this live, though, we can have some clarity, like I said. But so far, I've got just lovely me. I've got Angie. I've got Retta. I saw Miss White in here. So I think we're missing Amber. I think we're missing Ashley D. I think we're missing Jared. D Ham. If you guys are in the chat, let me know. Maybe they're live. I don't know. I I had the moment, so I said, let me go ahead and go live now. Okay, welcome in Ashley D. So I see Ashley D in here. I'll say this while we're waiting on everybody to come in. I noticed that many of you guys mentioned my live and mentioned that it was a good live, and the things that I was saying were right and exact. But I think that we're learning that it's all that is easier said than done. It seems that we all still have issues that we have to work through before we can kind of get on this right page of, clean journalism. Lacey is amazing. Thank you for asking. Everybody in the house is amazing. Thank you so much for asking, Stephanie. Whether they're here or not, I'll start up in the next few minutes. But I was just going to say, seemed like everybody had mentioned that live and some of the points that I was making in that live, and I don't think anybody disagreed with what I was saying, but I just think it's more complicated than what I was saying. You understand? I'm just messing around now. I'm gonna see something. It's pretty crazy. I'm still not saying anything from Jared now. Shauna Tay, that's cool. That's cool. That's Sean Tanae. I messed that up that time. My bad. Open book. Peace to you. Thank you, Lakeisha. Everybody can hear me fine? Everybody can see me fine? Welcome back in, Retta. I'm just gonna try to give them a few moments to see if Jared and them can be here while I say this. Good. Okay. Well, I'm about to get into it. If you guys see them go live, maybe someone sends them a message and say, Kevin on there talking junk about you. People can do that. If you see them about to go live or anything, try and stop them and say, whoa, it's not like that. Please go hear the brother out. Okay? So again, I've listened to what everybody had to say. And I think every one of you are coming from a very real place. I believe all of you, which is crazy. I want to talk about conflict resolution with a special focus on good faith. Humans can be very complex individuals. So the narratives that's going on between you guys can be very, very intricate. And it's important that you try to hear each other, because it's not just as simple as this is how I feel, this is how you feel. You have to be able to hear each other out. And as adults, when it comes to conflict resolution, good faith is a key ingredient to resolving problems between you and another person. Now, good faith is not easy to move forward with, but it's something that we all must have. People are complex beings, and we often perceive situations through the lens of our own emotions and our own experiences. And if we're not given that grace to understand that, you're going to see them as an enemy. You're going to see them as a person who's being malicious. And that's not fair, because now you are removing their humanity. And what I see is a bunch of humans, a bunch of honest people. I don't see any bad souls in this. I don't see any bad people in this whole thing. I see people that's fighting to be heard, fighting to be understood. And in them being upset, it's not coming out the best. And that's what I see, family. Thank you so much, Miss White. You guys know that on the back end, as we call it, I've been reaching out to people to try and bring some resolution to issues that I see happening on the side of people that I believe can work through things. I'm not calling or trying to reach out to anybody on what we call the other side. I don't believe they would hear what I have to say. I believe they hate my guts. So why would I try and offer any insight, anything trying to correct anything with them? But you guys, I believe you're good people. So frankly, I heard Ashley D and Tiff on Ashley D's live the other day talking about their encounter with Jared. And I can hear from what they were saying to each other that it still had an impact, whether it was they were still pissed about their encounter, hurt about their encounter. I just know that if they're still talking about it and with that much passion, there's an issue there. So I reached out to Jared because I wanted Jared and I to have a man-to-man conversation on if we could resolve this, if we could make this right, regardless of how you feel about right or wrong. Can we make this right simply based on the impact that was brought upon them as a man? And he was not unwilling. The brother said nothing but good things about Ashley D over the phone. Even the thing that he's saying that he said about she'll take it as some type of enablement. He didn't even say that in a negative way. He was saying she strongly believes I've said these things about her. She strongly believes that I typed these things about her on her community board. And if I apologize, it may confirm to her that these things were true. And I was saying that, no, you're not apologizing for saying those things. That's not what because you believe genuinely that she believes them. So she's not wrong in how she's reacting, because she's reacting as someone who believes you said those things. So she's not lying and saying you said them. She believes you said them. So having good faith towards Ashley in that moment is, well, she does believe I said those things. So good conflict resolution in that moment is, this person sincerely believes you said this. So apologize for the impact or the feelings brought on them due to their beliefs that you said this. And then say, but I want to share with you that I did not say this towards you. And then they have to have good faith and receive you on that, and not argue back and forth with you that you did say that, because it would the conflict will not resolve at that point. So that's how I see Ashley D and Jared there. He was a lot like me by way of trying to reach out to her via, saying kind things. Hey, I think the most of Ashley D, when I came into this saga, Ashley was one of the first people that I listened to, and he's saying, I love you, and he's doing all these things. But Ashley D, being my friend, I know this about her. One thing that Ashley prides herself in is loyalty. This is her #1 driving force from what I've learned. And if she feels like someone is not being loyal towards her, this is when she gets upset. This is when you'll get the worst out of her. Everybody has their own criteria of what loyalty is or what they want from their friends. But it does not mean their friends are not genuine. It means that they may not live up to your standard of loyalty. When many of us are offended, we want everybody in the world to hate that person who offended us. And so for many of us, we'll see people still being friends with that person as a form of disloyalty. However, those people may not feel that's a form of disloyalty. They may feel that talking about you behind your back, or them also doing wrong things to you, turning on you, that's what disloyalty is. However, you know, you can easily see how someone could say, man, this person said something mean about me. They said something that hurt my feelings, and you friends with them. That's disloyalty. You're supposed to hate who I hate. We understand those feelings. We all have them when they're deeply hurt by something somebody said. Okay, Felicia. At 2? You'll be live at 2? It's 4 o'clock here. So what time is it there? Still waiting for everybody to show up. I've only dealt with Jared, and I don't want to deal with everybody on a personal level. I just want to kind of zoom out and say something before I even continue. I titled this message, "We're Missing the Forest for the Trees." This term is given when you're so close to something that you cannot see it in its totality. Does this make sense? The forest is an ecosystem for different animals, different plants, different species. It's more than just trees. So this idea that we're missing the forest for the trees, it means the trees have gotten in the way. And so now you can't see the forest and the beauty of it and really the benefits of it. So listen at this. In this sense of it, imagine the forest being all of you amazing people. All of you people who the universe has brought together for this moment. For whatever reason, it's brought us together. Here we are, the forest. People showing that they genuinely care about other people's. That's a representation of empathy, compassion. This is not something we see in our world every day, but you guys are showing that. So all you guys are coming to the table to show some compassion and empathy to the point of where you want to protect a man that you don't even know, a family you don't even know. That's a beautiful thing. Willing to be, okay, I'm in Vegas, it's 1, so that means in an hour. Please, let's postpone. Let's get together and decide a better time, please. And that way we can actually have our conversation where it's convenient for both of us. Thank you. It's no rush. I don't have a beef with you. I just wanted to talk to you. And so I think that'll be a really productive conversation if you don't mind. So if you ask me, it's a beautiful forest. There's people who come together with the same intent. You don't see this every day, that we can come together and unite for one cause. But wherever people join together, family, one of the biggest issues with that is people join together. People with their own different backgrounds, their own problems, their own way of seeing things, their own pains, their own trauma. Great, Felicia. And so when you bring all that in together, you're going to have a melting pot of different perspectives, but we are all each other's reflections. And this is one thing I'll keep reiterating this whole live, is that we are all each other's reflections. So I want you guys, when you get into that forest, when you're missing the forest for the trees, all those trees get lost, start looking alike. When you get lost in the forest, all the trees begin to look alike. And that's what we're looking at right now. It's a state of confusion. Everybody looks alike. Everybody look like a bad person. Everybody look like somebody you can't trust. Everybody look like somebody who's going to turn on you, or because we're seeing these things happen. So our guards are up and we're jumping to conclusions because that tree really looks like that tree. You're like, I've been here before. I've saw this before. Have I passed this tree? So you start marking trees, right? But it's too early to mark the tree. Peace, my beautiful sister. So we're judging people in the moment, but people are complex and they're still growing, and people hate to be judged in the moment. They were not trying to betray you. They were talking to that person for their reason for talking to that person, and they probably didn't think it through. But we're complex, and everything that we do is not with each other in mind. It's mostly with ourselves in mind. So are you learning people's character? Are you learning through their movements the type of person they are? Yeah, but ultimately, still no. Because what you're learning is how you think about that person's moves. So we're all slaves of our mind. It's not just any person in their head. The only thing that we can think with, family, is our minds. So whatever we're thinking about another person, where does it exist? However another person handled something, where does that exist? How a person said something to you, how a person reacted. Whatever you think about that person, where does that exist? In your head. So when you strongly feel a certain way, what honest people do is react according to their natural feelings. And so you guys are not lying about how you feel. You guys are not lying about what you're saying to each other. You're giving your honest opinions. But remember, we are each other's reflections. So don't be harsh. Don't be judgmental. Because all of us were brought together for a reason. And maybe it was so we could learn more about ourselves. And I think that's always the reason. It's always the reason. So just imagine you're surrounded you're in a room full of mirrors. Some of these mirrors are going to reveal sides of you that you don't necessarily like. Areas you haven't focused on, right? You might realize if you're a man like myself and you shape yourself up a lot, sometimes I can get so focused on the front of my head because I keep my hair so low, I may not deal with the back of my head as much. And then I'll mess around and see in a mirror and see hair all the way down my neck that I hadn't shaped up. You know, and it always happens when I'm out somewhere looking in one of them damn double mall window mirrors or something like that. So if you surround yourself in mirrors with reflections, they are naturally going to reveal things to you that you don't see about yourself. And it never feels good. It just doesn't feel good, but they're not telling you because they hate you. They could be. They could be saying it because they don't like you. It don't mean it ain't true. Especially when you're surrounding yourself by a bunch of insightful people. And I've heard your lives, regardless of where you guys are in your decision making, where you are financially, where you are as a person, when y'all look at problems and interactions, every last one of you can be very insightful. Every last one of you can say things that are impactful, powerful. And that's what I've taken the most from this live. I mean, from this whole saga. Many of you guys' first impression of me is that I'm intelligent, I'm cerebral, I'm smart. I've learned so much from you guys, and I wrote the book on emotional terrorism, literally. I've spent my life for the last 10 years counseling people, and before that, I was in church as a counselor. I've been counseling people my whole life. I've always had amazing insight that even elders and old people come to me for my insight. It's always been that way. And some of you guys are insightful just like that. So I regardless of whether we started off as enemies, regardless of whether we're tearing people down today or yesterday, whatever the case may be, nothing's going to take away from my belief that all of us were brought together for some reason. And it wasn't what we think it is. It is to grow. It is to learn. It is so we can ultimately become better people. And years from now, we'll look back at this in appreciation because we're in the fire right now. But the fire should refine us. It shouldn't break us down, man. I always say the refining never feels good. When people are speaking on you and telling you what they see about you and your behavior and your actions, it never feels good, but you gotta try to receive what they're saying. And I ain't even had breakfast yet. And I don't mean that literally. I mean in the sense of I ain't even started my message yet. I'm still waiting for everybody to be here. But I'm just giving you guys an overall synopsis of what I see. And I think a lot of you guys probably already get the gist of what I'm saying. We're blinded by the trees. You got all of these people, these beautiful black people, different shapes and sizes of black people right here. We could be coming together to do something profound. And we're going to blow the opportunity for the trees. The trees are the little nuanced things that we're arguing about. What somebody look like, what their height is, the trees. But these trees are perfect. They're just as God made them. They just as the universe and life has shaped them to be. You wouldn't dare look at a tree and say, your limb should be over here. That should be over there. Your roots should be completely under the ground. It's the tree. You can tell by the tree, the way it's leaning, the way it grew, that it went through something. We are trees, family. We're arguing with God by sitting here critiquing somebody's looks when God made that person. We're arguing with God. We're being blasphemous when we criticize a person's traumas when they didn't bring that trauma on themselves. Somebody's mama died. That's something they can't help. Somebody's sister passed away. Somebody's child isn't as healthy as they like for them to be. These are the trees, and they're beautiful because it happens. We done all been through something. We all gonna lose somebody. If you haven't lost anybody, yo, that's amazing. But you got a world of pain ahead of you. Or the people that you love do. Because when you pass away, it's gonna crush them. Because if nobody's seen death around them, y'all in for a world of hurt. Because everybody has to die. So if you think that's something to make fun of, come on, man, we've lost our way. Thank you, KFD. Everybody. None of us can escape this world. This is a holy thing. Death is holy. It's absolutely holy. None of us can get out of this world unless we do that. You shouldn't mock that. And I know some people feel like we grow up as kids. That's what we do. That means you had no home training. That means you are a destroyer of people. Because whether you angry right now, you feel like that's the thing to do, that shit has an impact. A great impact. Thank you, Open Book. When I said yesterday that we all can pick ourselves up from this moment, get ourselves up out of the mud, you snap out of it and realize you're playing in the mud. Some of the things we're saying, some of the things that we're doing, they're only going to hurt our character. To repeat some of the things that's been said, they're only going to hurt our own character. And I bet you 10 years from now, if you look at a video of you saying that, you're going to regret it. Because you're not going to be you in 10 years. You're going to be an evolved version of yourself. And you're going to regret these things because this is not who you are. It's who you present yourself to be today. I don't believe any of you are who you are. As much as many of you guys have said about me, my family, any of you guys can turn your life around and go be one of the greatest people that ever existed. I'll say that about Cali. He could change his life and be one of the greatest human beings that ever existed. Will it matter at that moment what he did to me? No, because he would have done so many things in the right direction. Because everybody complex and ain't nobody perfect. Amora, any of us can change. So it's like, as much as I don't like things that's been said about me, my family, whatever the case may be, I found myself. I got lost in the trees just like everybody else, so I'm human just like everybody else. So I've responded from that lost place by attacking, by saying things back that can get to them, by being hurtful also, by being a bad example. But I found myself. I refuse to go back to the mud. I'm not playing in the mud anymore. So if I have to be an example for all of us, that's what I'll be. So that means it's easier said than done. By me volunteering that I'm going to be the example, I'm now opening myself up for all the attacks because now they're going to test me. The universe is going to test me. I'm going to talk about your mama, your kids, your wives. I'm going to say all this. I want to see how much you believe what you're saying. Then come at me. Come at me, bro. But I'm not playing in the mud with you anymore. And I think all of us need to recognize that. We have an opportunity here to do something great. So many people gathered in one area daily. You don't think we can turn this into something that's positive? You don't think all of us together in one area can't turn this into something positive? Because if we can't, that speaks to who we are. It's going to speak to all of our character because we all in it. And as much as we can point at different trees in the forest, that one's leaning, that one ain't as tall, that one, listen, we all in that same forest. And ultimately, every tree contributes to the ecosystem in that forest. Do you understand? We all contribute to the ecosystem within the forest that we're in. So the way the forest looks is the forest's fault. So it's almost like God gives us a world to maintain and keep up, but we're praying for God to come fix it, but God ain't the one here messing it up. We are. So at some point, accountability is not just admitting you're wrong, it's getting up and going and doing the things that's supposed to be done in the right way, setting your emotions to the side and doing the right things. And it's not going to be easy. So I want all of you guys to kind of wipe your eyes, man, and see the forest. See the good sides of us. Remember the positive things that we've said and put out into the universe. And have some good faith. Thank you, Felicia. Peace to you. So we're dealing with conflict resolution and having good faith. Okay? Sometimes we have to practice forgiveness, not because we trust that person is sincere, but it's for our own mentality. So what I hear from a lot of us is that we're crying over spilled milk. And I don't say that as an insult. This term is said that because a person is continuing to argue over something that's already said and done. It's already in the past. So if the milk has been gotten up, if we've already cleaned up the milk, what are we still arguing about it for? Who's the one that spilt it? It doesn't matter now, it's up. So I'm going to say this. If you get bit by a snake, okay, if you were to get bit by a snake, going up to that snake and telling that snake it bit you and asking it why did it bite you and asking it to apologize, is that going to help you in that moment? I think anybody would say no. The poison is going to still eat away at you via the affected area. If it bit your arm, it's going to keep melting away at your tissue. So the goal should be to go get medical help for that bite, right? Not deal with the snake at all. And sometimes to deal with that snake's venom, you need the venom itself. Toya, I understand your question, and rightfully so. But I'm being nice to everyone right now. I don't believe I should be moving in any type of anger towards anyone. I want to correct these things and move forward. So I'm not here today to hold grudges. I'm not here with a good memory, trying to remember what people did. Sometimes memory can be one of the worst things that you can have. Remembering, putting things back together again. Sometimes the best way to move forward is to forget. And what I mean by forget doesn't mean you don't remember it. It means operate in a way that doesn't create more issues. If it makes you feel some type of way, I do apologize for how you feel, though, sweetheart. I don't mean to make you feel like, I'm overlooking anything that may have been said to you by being nice to somebody who was once mean to you. But I think we all need to remove our emotions right now and as adults figure out a way to resolve the conflicts that we've created on our own and all. And like I said, back to what I was saying, rather, you go get help for the bite. And so I'm going to break this down for you. When someone says something that is likened to venom, like that venom, it'll break you down. But you have to remember that thing that's breaking you down is your own mind. What they said to you is one thing, but the harboring on it, the keep on running it through your mind, the remembering of it, is the damage that we do to ourselves. And this is why you practice forgiveness. So you're not running these things through your mind and having your own stress levels and things thrown off, your own balance thrown off. And now you're not in your best mood to create and be your best self because you're remembering, putting back together again, something that's already been said, been done, sometimes years ago, weeks ago. And it can keep us in like a cycle of reliving every single day. Every day is the same day. Every day you wake up, you're mad at this person and what they said. And eventually what they said was yesterday. Eventually what they said was the day before yesterday. Now it was last week. Now it was last month. But we're still waking up, living the cycle. Groundhog Day. So the way to deal with the venom is go in your mental well-being, family. This is what I'm saying. When you feel you've been bit by someone has said something, and we all got a snake. We all got a snake, guys. Everybody won't hear it, Dawn. Everybody won't change, but everybody's not cut from the same cloth. Some people are not good people, so people who are not good people are not going to hear what I have to say. And that's fine. I'm not speaking to them. But the people who are righteous, the people who got some good in them, the people who believe that they have it within them to turn this thing into something positive, to do something amazing that the world can see, through all these people gathered together, can still do something very great and very positive. There's a great and mighty work that we can yet still do. Are we going to allow the trees, people's personalities, how they moved, what you don't like that this person said, this person hanging out with that person, this person doing this and doing that, to stop us from all the people that we could help inside of an ecosystem? You wouldn't go and destroy a whole forest because a few trees are dying out, because you're destroying the home of every animal who lives in that forest. And we're not thinking about how much life we bring these supporters on a daily basis. You got women inside of this platform right now on my chat in days past saying, I lost my child due to this. I was in a domestic violence situation, and this is bringing me life. It's helping me cope. It's helping me deal with this. And when we get upset, we forget about all the people that we're helping. Look at how much me and Callie go back and forth. I got a whole platform full of people that I've helped for years who are sitting here waiting on more of my enlightening videos. And I'm arguing with a person who doesn't matter. That doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I'm sure he matters to his family and the people who care about him, but he doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. My people don't care about that. And so my platform is not being used for its original purpose, which is why all the people are gathered there on my page, for inspiration, for insight that can help them in their life. So when I say we have something beautiful here that we could do, but we're going to miss it if we don't understand that people are being empowered by us too, and we owe it to them. We have a great deal of responsibility to those people. So we're getting what we're getting from this person, that person, and the other person, what we don't like about them, and we're making those issues public for people who we actually help every day, who that person helps every day. So as much as you guys may be upset at Ashley D, or Ashley D may be upset at something you guys did, there are supporters on these networks that can say the same very people have helped them move forward in life. Shantae says, I'm definitely one of those people. I think a lot of you guys can say, I've received a lot from this, even though there's a lot of negative things in it. I think a lot of you guys can say, this has helped me in my life. And I want all of you guys to give yourself a hand clap, because you've been a part of something that is powerful too. Thank you, God with the camera. This is why I say I love y'all. When I see people, I see them at their highest vibration. And I see them as the greatest person that I can imagine them to be. And if a person ain't displaying that, I don't give them a hard time. I got to give them room to grow, because I know that that they're only a victim necessarily of my projection. I thought that I projected onto them who they were going to be. I have to get to know them by watching them though, and that's how it works. So I just want to say it's important that we recognize that your mental well-being is more important than the reason that snake bit you. So again, a snake bites you. The last thing you want to do is run up to the snake to tell it it bit you, to tell it how badly it hurt, to try to find out why it bit you. The first thing you need to do is go get help. Get the venom out. Get it out of your mind so it's not eating you up alive. Your mental well-being is far greater than the reason that they bit you. So don't make your life about trying to get it across to that person that they bit you. And everybody has a snake. We all have bitten someone. We all have said something venomous that probably is still with somebody. The reason they're still mad for years and weeks and weeks and weeks is actually their own mental development. If you find yourself still mad about what somebody said years ago, weeks ago, that problem is actually you, because you're supposed to deal with it. It shows you haven't gotten any help. It shows that you haven't had a conversation with somebody who loves you enough to bring about some perspective to help relieve you of this idea. We shouldn't be that mad years and years and weeks going down the road, family. It only prevents you moving forward. This is why they say forgiveness is for you, and you can't get into heaven if you don't forgive. Do you understand the concept that you're not going to get back to a happy place unless you forgive? Heaven is a place of happiness. If you are practicing unforgiveness, it means you are living in anger. Does this make any sense? So I think we all need to go say, you know what, let me check myself. If I'm still finding myself talking about things from the past, things that we've talked about and discussed before, maybe the problem is with me. Let me go deal with that in my mind. Because guys, sometimes a person can apologize, but it's up to you to actually do the forgiving. And that's the part that's not easy, but that's the work that you have to do. So even though you're not responsible, it's not your fault what was said to you, it's your responsibility of what was said to you. It's your responsibility to heal yourself. Now guys, if you ever been hurt by somebody, you know they can't heal you. Just imagine that your physical body teaches you this. As above, so below. As within, so without. So if you're looking at your exterior biological vessel, if someone hurts you, they cause you to bleed, can they make you heal? Or is your blood responsible for coagulating that area? Is your blood responsible for healing you? If someone coughs around you and gets you sick, can they cure you? Or is your immune system responsible for fighting that off? This is the same way the mind works. If somebody says something to you to hurt you, you cannot put it on that person to come back and fix how you feel. You have to be the one responsible for dealing with that. Sometimes that hard work is what we're projecting on that other person because it hurts. You angry that you got to sit here and deal with this mean stuff they said. So it makes you even more angry at them for ever saying it to begin with. But that is more pressure and more pain you putting on yourself. And some of us are so insightful, intelligent, and so critical that we become more angry about a situation than we should be because we can simply see all of the consequences attached to it. But it doesn't mean the person that did that thing is as aware as you. So your anger may be greater than you should be expressing. These are things may need to be behind your heart. You keep that kind of behind the breast, because they're not going to understand on the level or the magnitude the mistake they made like you do. So if you move equal to your passion for how you see it, that person's going to feel like you being overwhelming. And that's honestly what I get from Ashley. She's very emotional, she's very passionate, and she prides herself, and I say pride like the pride of a lion when it comes to loyalty. I was talking to her and I've just found out she was a Sagittarius, and that made so much sense to me. I have a lot of people in my life who are Sagittarius. And I hate to make this about the zodiac. I don't know if you guys get down with that or not, but Sagittarius, they shoot from the heart. They do not shoot from the mind. They say how they feel and they live out how they feel. That's why the Sagittarius is represented by a man with the arrow, because they shoot from the heart and they mean what they say. Even when it's not true, even when they may be wrong about what they're seeing, what they're saying is correct about if they really felt that way. So it's easy for them to upset people around them because a lot of times they speak from the heart before they think about what they're saying. I understand, Rita. I appreciate the respect. I think by the end of this, you'll have more of an understanding as to what I'm saying, and you can make your honest opinions from there. What I see around all of you guys when it comes to you guys and the things with Ashley D, what I heard from every last one of you was genuine feelings. When I heard Jared, I said, he means that. He said, you hurt my feelings. I didn't mean this. I didn't say those things about you. I believe him. Does this make sense? And so what I say is there's good faith that's missing. If I were Ashley, I would receive what Jared was saying and let bygones be bygones. I would trust that our friendship before that, the times that I've known him, and I would give him the benefit of the doubt that the brother is telling me the truth. I would say I don't think he's a coward. I don't think he would say he didn't mean it like that way if he did mean it that way. So let me take his word for it. When I hear Retta speak of Ashley D, my assessment of that is Retta genuinely cared about Ashley D's friendship. She reached out to her on a daily basis. I can understand what it's like when someone sees things a different way from you and they're firm in how they believe. It can cause a real rift. I can understand how Retta felt reaching back out to Ashley and she didn't respond. The reason is the same thing has happened to me. But also when someone truly believes something, they block people, they cut people out. And so while I see Ashley D's feelings as truly, truly genuine, I see the impact that she brought on others as harmful. And so I understand what everybody's saying. And so I think if we had good faith, everybody could step back and look at this thing and say, okay, people are complex. Nobody here is all bad. We all have good parts and we all have downsides to us. That's a fact. Ain't nobody here perfect. There's a sun and a moon for a reason. It's showing you that we all have a day and we all have a night. When we're emotionally triggered, you're not going to get the best from us. If we believe people hurt us, we often want people to have our back. And if they don't display that, we feel like they've turned on us. It's just a fact. Yes, Retta's feelings are very real. See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody, when I listen to what everybody was saying, everybody's feelings are very real. So if I'm Retta, I would be hurt that Ashley didn't answer my call. But I also see Retta as a person who is kind of invulnerable when it comes to her emotions. She's not a person who wears her feelings on her sleeve. So if something hurts her, she's not going to say it. See, you see, Jared's honesty was, you hurt my feelings. I want you guys to understand that's a good display of masculinity. Most men can't admit that you hurt their feelings. But I don't see Retta as that type of person to just say you hurt my feelings. Retta's the type of person that even if it hurts, she's going to take it in stride in how she presents herself. She's going to present it as if it didn't hurt. I just don't see her going public and saying my feelings are hurt. I watched how she handled things when her daughter was spoke on. And she handles everything with a kind of like in a tough way, even though you know that she's feeling a world of emotions underneath. So to Ashley D, that can seem that she is not that she don't care. But I don't believe that at all, because this person called you every single day. These people have reached out to me trying to mediate, trying to clear things up. So I know they care, even if they're not on a panel saying I care. It means something to me. No, even if they don't say that, I know that they do. You can get my book from Amazon. Just go to Amazon and type in books by Kevin Wesley, and you should see the whole lot of them. It's probably about 5 or 6 books I've written. I don't like when people assume and be loud and wrong. It's very bothersome to me. It's always very bothersome to the people who are on the receiving end of somebody's thoughts or their conclusions that they've jumped to, but they're human. And so we all have thought things and been wrong about them. And so this is what I mean by understanding that people are complex. Do you guys believe that Ashley's lying about her feelings or that she's emotional about her feelings? Because every one of you guys that talk to me, none of you believe that she's a liar, that she's out here just trying to cause problems. Every last one of you guys have said, I believe she sincerely feels that way. And what my thoughts are is then okay. So good faith is saying, if she believes that way, and my thoughts to Ashley is, do you believe what they're saying? And if she does, this is a good place here for all of us to understand that we can build from this place. The feelings are misplaced. This is what I'm telling you. When I hear what every one of you guys are saying, what I'm telling you is to the supporters is very confusing because they weren't there. What they're hearing is your perspectives, and you guys strongly believe in your perspectives. But you got to remember, you guys are reflections. So the other person may see some things that you don't see, and you got to trust that they see that. But you may not like that they see it. But conflict resolution is accepting that they see that and not harboring any negative emotions and projecting them because of that. Does this make sense? So my thing is to Ashley D. I'll say this to you, Ashley. If you recognize and you recognize in your heart, okay, that Jared is sincere in what he's saying. D-Ham is sincere when he says, I don't want my name in things. Think about from D-Ham's perspective. His name's been in things. People have been putting his name in things, and he's seeing people call his character into question. This doesn't feel good. He had a live the other day titled, if you want to unfollow me, go ahead and unfollow me if you think I would ever trip. D-Ham can tell you, I hit him up and said, bro, don't go in that spirit, because they have every right to believe these things. They don't know you. We don't know each other. So if you're going to say anything, go up there and prove yourself to people, because they deserve that. Go up there and tell them they have every right to believe what they believe, but let you make it right, because you didn't try to turn on me. You didn't go to Cali for any malicious reasons. But just understand that people are talking and people are going to speculate, and just don't be so prideful that we allow our ego to be hurt because you know that you're not a person who's going to turn on people. Every one of us are still trying to prove ourselves to the people that we are around. You guys are peers, but we don't know each other all the way through and through. Does this make sense? So when I see D-Ham already being upset that people were questioning his loyalty, questioning his character, and now all of a sudden he hears Ashley D say his name, he's not putting as much thought into it. He went straight to his platform and just said, look, I've had enough. And me as a person hearing him, I feel what he's saying. So Ashley D, if you were to put yourself in D-Ham's shoes, can you feel what he's saying? He's a human being too. He deserves a right. He deserves good faith. So when I listen to Retta, I hear her giving the ins and outs of you guys' friendship and how much you guys talked and how confusing certain things were and how y'all saw things. I believe her. I believe you. I believe Retta has every right to feel like you shouldn't befriend someone who said something so mean to her. I feel like you have every right to not want Retta to befriend somebody who said something that's so mean to you. But let's be honest. The people who said those mean things, do they not deserve to make new friends? Do they not deserve to correct their behaviors? Do they not deserve to have a fresh start if they've apologized? And I think you would say, yeah, if I remove myself from it, I think everyone deserves a second chance. And so Ebony apologized. I don't know if Amber did. I don't know. But I hope that she did. And if she didn't, I hope she's willing to. But both of you guys are right. I remember what was said to Retta and when it was said. So I could understand if Retta felt some type of way slighted by you befriending somebody. And so none of us are doing these things to be disloyal. The truth is, everybody don't show everybody the same face. And some people do want to find out themselves. I don't think these are reasons to hate each other. I don't think they're reasons to feel like someone betrayed you. I think it's reasons to grow and get to know each other. I think we all need time to grow, and we all deserve the benefit of the doubt. So many people called me when Tiff was kind to Amora. Did it bother me? Yes. But I didn't go get on live or call Tiff mad at her. I understood that everybody has their reasons for doing everything. And do I think Tiff says, I know that she talked about Kevin's mama, but I'm going to go be nice to her anyway? No. That's just like I'm friendly with Amber. And I wouldn't want Ashley D to think that I'm also being disloyal to her by being friends with Amber. I certainly wouldn't do that to her. But also, Amber has done nothing but be kind to me. So I can understand how that's confusing for her if she feels like, but damn, look at how she treated me. This is life. So what I do is I try to step back from these things and say, okay, I'd like for things to be a certain way. I'd like to have some level of control in all of this, but truthfully, I have none. And I have to let these people be who they are. And I have to let bygones be bygones and move on, because everybody deserves a second chance. Everybody deserves a chance to make it right, because you're still alive. Your heart's still beating. And so who are we to draw a conclusion on somebody? You may say, I wash my hands of that person. I don't want to be friends with them. And that's fine. That's fine. You can get that. But when it comes to being adults, if you realize you're trying to be friends with somebody, you're trying to be lovers with somebody, associates with somebody in any way, if there is a breakdown, what adults have to learn to do is have great conflict resolution skills to be able to walk away from it without there being an enemy. So you can have your differences, but you still have to be able to handle the breaking away of certain relationships and be able to handle them in a way that is effective. You know, I was saying to someone earlier, I believe that's where our school system failed us. If you guys remember in school, somebody's you know, being rude, if they're trying to fight with you, and once the fight happens, you're suspended. But these guidance counselors, these teachers, they see these arguments and breakdowns building up, and they don't rectify them. They leave it up to the students to do the right thing or the wrong thing, and typically they're children. And so they're not going to react responsibly because they've got other children instigating it. And so now they believe they have to perform a certain way, or they're going to look like a punk or a coward. So you can't even respond genuinely, because if you walk away from the situation genuinely because you don't want no drama, somebody going to call you a punk or a coward. And so to avoid that, now you got to stand up and be strong and fight this person who you don't want to fight to begin with. We've seen this happen. But what you don't see is guidance counselors call the two students in the room who have this issue and force them to talk through this and work this out. And because this don't happen, we often become adults without developing those intangibles, right? And so now we're out into the adult world, and these are skills that we haven't yet learned. And so now we're falling out with each other, not knowing how to rectify them. And the problem is there's so many other people, believe it or not, that's dependent on y'all's relationship of being friends. There's so many people are staking on it, and you might not see that in that moment. So two friends can easily tear away, not realizing how many other friends are going to be involved in that, because we expect this loyalty. We expect people to not like who we don't like based on what they said to us, and rightfully so. You're not wrong for that. But you got to understand, that's one of the things that happens whenever you have a fallout with somebody. People are going to decide whose side they're on. So as adults, sometimes you say, let's handle this behind the scenes. Let's come to some type of agreement and let bygones be bygones. And as leaders, if you are a content creator on here, you are a leader. You may not say, I ain't no leader. Yeah, you're making content. So you are out here taking a place to lead people in some direction of thought. You are. And so when leaders argue amongst each other, it confuses the followers. And now nobody's getting nowhere. You a bunch of ants running around in circles. You ever see ants in a line? They're getting somewhere. Now go there and cause a bunch of chaos. Watch them all run around looking for who did it and what's going on. When as quickly as they can start building their home, if I was to walk up to an anthill right now and knock it over, they can go and look up at this giant and wonder why he do that and shake their fists at him, or they can start back rebuilding their home. The ant's home gets knocked down over and over. And if it doesn't, the weather knocks it down. So they've learned how to just rebuild their home. Don't ask no whole bunch of questions. Don't go looking for the giant that knocked the house down. Don't go arguing with the rain. Rebuild your home, because rebuilding your home protects your whole tribe. Whenever we're upset with each other, we just think about disintegrating the friendship, the partnership, or whatever the case may be, and we're not really working towards keeping these things, we're not really working towards, keeping things intact for the greater purpose. So every last one of you have a right to say what you're saying. Every last one of you have your reasons. I believe every last one of you. But I think every last one of you guys are involved have to practice hearing each other out, receiving what they're saying, believing that this human is telling you how they genuinely feel, and then work together for a resolve so we can move past it, because it's already happened. It's in the past, family. So we have to figure out a way to move past it. It's important that we recognize that people are not one-dimensional beings. We are multifaceted with a myriad of thoughts, emotions, and experiences, family. These experiences influence our actions and reactions. In times of conflict, it's easy to fall into the trap of assuming that our perspective is the only valid one. However, acknowledging the complexity for other people's viewpoints is the first step towards resolution. If you don't acknowledge how the other person feels, you're not going to resolve the issue. You're only looking to be heard out, and that's the issue that I see here. Nobody's a bad person. In fact, every one of you are great. I really want to see us all take the bull by the horns and turn this into something positive. It's gonna require us setting our emotions to the side. But can we think about all the people who come to our channels every day for uplifting, who come to our channels every day for guidance, and then make a decision that's best for them? Empathy is something that we need. Lacking empathy means you're only going to see your emotions if you're not thinking outside of yourself. Whenever we're calm and happy, it's easy for us to have empathy. But whenever we're hurting and we're upset, we tend to lack it. And so we have to practice having it even when we're upset, that other people's feelings still matter even when we're upset. So empathy plays a pivotal role in navigating the conflicts with grace. It's having grace for each other. That comes from empathy and understanding for each other. By putting ourselves in someone else's shoes, we gain insight to their motivations and their struggles. And so sometimes the best way to understand somebody is take yourself out of your skin and put yourself in theirs and try to think about how would you feel if this were you. Yes, people have to control their emotions and not be impulsive. It's true. And a lot of you guys are saying, you know, Ashley should find someone to talk with. She has that person. I'm there for Ashley. I'm talking with her through this stuff, and we had some conversations even earlier today, and she's seeing some things in the way that I'm presenting them to her, and she's understanding them. And so one of the messages to her is sometimes just be slow to respond, because the way it looks all the time does not mean that's how it always is. And so sometimes you have to slow yourself down, because if that small chance, if you're wrong, then that being wrong can make people feel a certain way. So we could be right 99% of the time, but we have to slow down for that 1% of the time. Well, Don, I think you're talking about overall, but I'm talking to people like Retta, Jared, Amber. I'm talking to Ashley D. I'm talking to Angie. I'm talking to all these people that I believe in, that I believe are better than that. I don't believe these are people who are bad people. I believe these are people who are in a complex situation, and everybody's fighting for how they feel, and everybody's fighting to be understood. Yes, Cheryl Wagner, the same principles could be said about myself and Callie. That's why I say we're all reflections. Look at our situation. If there's good faith, it's me believing that Callie sincerely believes I offered him fruit with my hips shaking. So I have to truly put myself in his shoes and say, if I were him, would I be mad about that? Absolutely. But he's not putting himself in my shoes and saying, what if he didn't do that? Can I accept Kevin saying this didn't happen on good faith and let bygones be bygones? When I say I didn't scam the people, I actually had this stomach surgery. My stomach is really gone for preventing stomach cancer. Is he saying, let me take this man at his word? No, he's saying I'm lying. So I'm saying clearly what it is. I'm not saying, Callie, you really don't believe that. You're just a liar. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he thought for real that I must have faked some type of surgery. But now he knows the facts. How is he responding to that? So there's no good faith on his part, not mine. So I'm asking you guys, again, I'm trying to set the example. Have good faith for other people and try and receive what they're saying. Right, he said you were lying too. Well, last night he said something to the effect of he believes that you were sincere, but he also believes my paperwork is yours. But again, He wants to make me a liar and he's not practicing good faith. And see, if he were to set that to the side and actually, he says he didn't even go look at it. So this all shows you a person that's really reluctant to try and mediate things. They don't want to fix things. So the sheer fact that a person says, I don't go and hear what he have to say, that should show you there's a problem. But I'm not getting that from y'all. Y'all are actually hearing what each other has to say and responding with how y'all feel. So this shows me that every party wants peace. Retta wants peace. So much so she reached out to me. Jared wants peace. So much so that when I reached out to him, he said he would consider making these things right. That's what the brother said. Amber has spoken to me about wanting peace. So I don't believe these people are going out of their way to say they want peace. And Ashley has wanted peace. So all of you guys are wanting the same things. So I do believe that we can have some resolve from this. So I was just going to say, we got to remember that what may seem trivial to us can hold immense significance with somebody else. So we can say, guys, this is over nothing. Let it go. This is nonsense. It's trivial to you, but it may have significance to somebody else. And so when we're doing that, we're making the person feel like the problem isn't a problem. And this is Angie's involvement. She's offering support to Ashley D because the way Ashley D is receiving it is that this is nonsense. This is nothing to be upset about. This is insignificant when it's not to her. And so Angie's being a good friend by saying, no, that's not true. She's a human. Let her express herself. She doesn't know the spirit that Miss White is coming in. But in doing so, Miss White feels slighted. She feels that her character is being misappropriated. And so she's going to feel, and she has every right to, on making it right where her actual personality and reputation is. And so everybody has to look at everybody in honesty, have a certain respect for them and how they're moving. They're not running from the situation. They're confronting the situation. And so if I were Ashley, if I were D-Ham, if I were Retta, if I were all the people involved in this situation, I would have a mutual respect for everybody involved, knowing that at least they're going to keep it 100 and say how they feel. And let's move forward. Peace to you, D-Ham. Man, welcome in, bro. You're going to have to go back and hear some of what I was saying. But the moral of my story is I believe all of you guys. I understand exactly where each and every one of you are coming from. But can we resolve this? Can we set our emotions to the side, our differences to the side for the greater good? We have people who we are responsible to. They come to these channels and these networks every day. And you got to think about the people who have yet to come and hear what we got to say. I think we have something great here if we were to all stick together. And it's not even about the saga. It started off about the saga, but there's so many great works out here that we could be doing, that we have enough people to galvanize that can create something powerful. And everybody can benefit from it. There's money to be made. There's relationships to be built. There's people to be helped. Yes, peace and understanding for everyone. None of you guys are bad people. And I know this because I talk with y'all personally. I talk to Retta personally. I talk to Amber personally. I talk to Angie personally. I talk to Ashley personally. I talk to D-Ham personally, Jared personally. Yo, it sucks to hear all of you guys who are such good people going at it with each other. Because something is totally misunderstood between y'all because y'all not bad people. So cultivating empathy fosters a deeper connection and paves the way for meaningful dialogue. So we got to have some type of empathy towards each other. We got to be able to set our emotions to the side, guys, and be able to deal with each other in an effective way. So no one is immune to making mistakes or experiencing misunderstandings. None of us are. But as we navigate conflicts, I mean, guys, it's vital that we create space for growth and learning, recognizing that our own fallibility and granting others the opportunity to evolve is key. We're all fallible. We all make mistakes. We all have the propensity to make mistakes. So we have to recognize that everybody else does too. How many times we say, I didn't mean it that way. I shouldn't have said it that way. Well, then other people do that too, family. And when they do that, we have to have good faith and trust them that they're in what they're saying. We can't sit here and say they're lying to us. If they say I didn't say that about you, I didn't mean it that way, you know, accept what they're saying. That's what good faith is. If Callie and I did that, this situation would be dead a long time ago. But this is not what he's doing. He's bringing back old stuff up. I heard him last night playing in mud. He's reiterating everything that Jeannie's saying. I refuse to even respond to that. You've now reduced yourself so far out of my view. I can't even see you anymore. You got to clean up a little bit if you want me to respond to you. But if you think I'm about to come over there and make responses to you about accusations of incest inside of my family and who fucking who and who got, like, man, you playing in mud. And if you enjoy that, that to me shows me you were never the person I thought you were. You're not even just mad. You're showing me that you have lower value than anybody I ever want to be around. Because you would never hear me playing in no mud to that magnitude. Like, ew, I ain't even let shit like that come out of my mouth. And so at some point, we all got to show our standards. If Callie go eating shit, he on his own at that point. I'm not eating shit with him. That's crazy. It's just like a bad food, a food that you guys don't like. If you guys don't like a certain dish, you hate it, and then you see your friend eating it, you think something wrong with them? That's what it's like with people. This person puts a bad taste in your mouth. Your encounter with this person wasn't positive, but this person has a great encounter with that person. You think something wrong with them? No, their assessment is also true. They don't believe that person's bad because they haven't experienced it with that person. So you have to say, okay, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. If you ever see this from this person, you'll see it. But until then, I can't invest myself into you behaving how I taste a dish. You behaving in how I receive a person. That's wild. So no one is immune to having mistakes or making or having misunderstandings. It's just a fact. So forgiveness coupled with commitment to understanding and involvement can bridge the widest divides. Empathy, the ability to try to understand, to be committed to a resolve. It can bridge the gap between the widest divides. Yes, people have a right to be friends with who they choose. That's absolutely, we're all human, family. And people do feel like you're too invested when you tell them who they can be friends with, even if you're right in what you're saying. I've been right about what I was saying. I've told people, man, don't deal with this person. And I was right about what I was saying. But do that person still have a right to be friends with them? Absolutely. Lampo and Sweet Ma, prime example. And they appear to be the best of friends. It appeared to be something that neither one of them regrets so far. Can I live in that and be mad at that? No. Something about each other with them, they vibing. You got to let people be who they are. I don't get along with Sweet Ma. I mean, not Sweet Ma, but Lampo. I already had encounters with her when this all began. So I said to people, yo, this ain't a good person. But some people chose to befriend her anyway. And they said, well, I disagree. I think she is a good person. Okay. You get along with it, that's fine. Some people befriended her and they said, I don't think she is. Some people befriended me and say, I don't think he is. So people are going to have their view of people. And sometimes you just got to live and let that happen. Jamie, some comments can stay. I don't mind people asking questions over and over. That's fine. That's good for the feed. That's good for the algorithm. That's more comments. So people comment ridiculous stuff over and over, like what is happening, what is happening, what is happening. You can allow them to stay. Jamie and Lacey. I only want you to remove like people who being blatantly disrespectful. Okay? People who are here to counter the good that I'm trying to do. And you'll be able to tell the demons when you see them. What they'll do is they'll watch me make a sincere video. I do not lie to you guys. I only say what I really feel because I stake my life on what I put on this social media. But people will watch my videos and go and try to skew what I'm saying and tell you guys I meant it for some insincere way. And if you have people doing that, family, don't listen to them. When someone tries to make something right with you and you got people hitting you up saying don't listen to them, don't listen to them. Don't let anybody get in the way of you bridging gaps. That means that they are in direct response to keeping things divided. And the Bible says the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Destroy, not build. So if someone is involved or invested saying, don't you forgive that person, don't you let that go, yo, don't listen to them. Because we must make a practice of forgiveness, family. I want us all to walk away from this live knowing this. Conflict resolution is a nuanced process that requires patience, empathy, a willingness to acknowledge the complexity of human nature. And by operating in good faith, which is the key ingredient to everything I'm saying, why I titled the live Good Faith. We're missing good. Well, I call it missing the forest for the trees, but my main point of this live is that we need to have good faith. And when operating in good faith, you're embracing empathy and you're allowing room for growth. And we can transform conflicts into opportunities for deeper understanding and connection if we have good faith and empathy. So a conflict can turn into something very powerful to where you understood this person greater. Some of the things they've been through greater. They shouldn't make you an enemy. Guys, I encourage you guys to move in love, which is understanding first off that everybody's human. Ashley, they are human, love. Please receive them as human beings. Please understand that even if you feel strongly that somebody betrayed you or strongly that somebody said something about you, give them good faith. Give them an opportunity. Give them grace. And guys, if Ashley D finds it in her heart to make this right with y'all, please be receptive. Understanding that people can be wrong about what they perceive. People can be wrong in how they go about things. I've told Ashley D over and over, from my mouth to God's ears, these people don't have a problem with you. I know because of how they talk to you, you talk to me about you. They ain't saying nothing negative about you. So this is a misunderstanding. And believe it or not, Ashley's not saying nothing negative about y'all. Every problem that she has with y'all is a nuanced problem. Something she feels that was done to her. She ain't saying, I don't like this person, they lame, they stupid. Actually, she cares about you. That's why she's hurting. So everybody, I think everybody on here has deep down a real care for each other. Nobody's, I promise you, because if it was true, I wouldn't be involved. Nobody's hitting me up talking shit about each other. Everybody has an understanding that they want to get across and they feel that they're being misunderstood. And so that's why I'm saying, guys, remember, every conflict is a chance to learn and grow together. So please consider what I'm saying and that these people are not evil. I wouldn't lie to you, Ashley. I promise you I wouldn't. I would not stir you wrong. And I don't believe that I believe that if we squash this, even if we can't emotionally deal with the nuance and all the narratives of it, because I don't believe it's even worth the conversation of trying to go back into the spilled milk, find out who spilled it, why, how much was spilled. It's in the past. So I think good faith is simply saying, okay, let's just laugh this one off. Let's just let this go and let's move forward in peace, recognizing that we all came together with a good cause. We're complex human beings and everybody has their own way of seeing things. And they moved about them how they would have felt if things were that way, if they were right in how they felt. So they had a right to their anger. They had a right to their pain. And it's just a fact. And if nobody's going to give each other the benefit of the doubt, none of y'all are going to feel very human in this. Because if you don't treat Ashley D like she's human, she's not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. And if Ashley don't treat you guys like you guys are human, y'all not going to give her the benefit of the doubt. So at some point, everybody has to step back and say, you know what? Let's see the forest again. Let's see all of the people who dwell within this ecosystem of this LaTruth saga. who benefit from it on a daily basis, whose relationships are now better because they've seen our insight and our enlightenment on issues, who are better functional human beings after seeing how we work and respond. Through all of the mess, they're still here looking for a silver lining. Let's be responsible to those people and set our personal emotions as content creators to the side. As leaders, let's keep the mission first. Recognize we have tons of people right here who can support our endeavors of doing mighty things in this world. Let's not ruin that by making things so personal that people have to choose sides. And now they don't know who to listen to because they feel like they're being disloyal for supporting and commenting in each other's chats. Let's create something that is going to be what I want to be able to walk into every live and comment and big each other up and give flowers without feeling like I'm hurting anybody. And I don't think any other supporter disagrees with that. Retta, I believe the root of the problem is not practicing good faith. I've heard every last one of you and what you guys had to say, and I believe every last one of you. So the problem is, do y'all believe each other? Do y'all believe that Ashley D really believes that she was done wrong? Do y'all believe that she really believes that she was betrayed? And if you can believe that, then you can understand her feelings responding to that. Because when you feel betrayed, you respond in a certain way. When you feel done wrong, you respond in a certain way. So if she really feels this way, then we can forgive the behavior that came from her feeling this way and understanding that we may have done things to make her feel that way. And that's a fact. You guys have every right to your feelings. So I say, if I say the same thing back to Ashley D as I'm doing you right now, do you believe Retta feels that way? Do you believe Retta's friendship was genuine in the beginning? And if you believe that, then she deserves every bit of you trusting her right now and taking her word for it right now. Did she reach back out to you? Did you block her? Yes. So you know she reached back out to you, and you know that you severed that tie. So you are the reason that didn't resolve. And so if you had allowed Retta to speak with you, maybe there would have been resolution. Maybe you feel that Retta didn't come to you in the right way. But Retta is not a person who moves with her emotions on her sleeve. So she's not going to come to you and say, and this is just by me examining Retta. Retta, you can tell me if I'm wrong. But I don't see Retta as a person who's going to come to you and say, my feelings are hurt. This relationship really means a whole lot to me. Can we talk? I see her as a person to say, look, it is what it is. If you want to talk about it, we can. But none of that means that she don't feel like anybody else would feel if she lost a friendship. It's just some people are just not going to lead with their emotions. She's from New York. She's a New Yorker. And a lot of that shapes how people carry themselves. But it don't mean they're emotionless. It don't mean they don't feel, because they do. She wouldn't reach back out to you if she wasn't concerned. So she could tell me all day she ain't concerned. I wouldn't believe her because her actions betray her. She reached out. Just like I reached out to Sweet Ma because I was concerned. I cared. She didn't want to speak back, and that's up to her. But I wouldn't dare say I didn't care. I did. When I heard what she had to say, my message to her was, I don't understand everything you're upset about, but I'm willing to make amends. But everybody deserves their own time to come around. They deserve their own, they deserve their own eyes to be able to see what they think they see. And I had to wash my hands of it because she said she believes I'm manipulative. So if she believes that, she's not going to receive me if I come to her saying, look, let's bring peace. Let's do this. Let's do that. So I have to stand back. And maybe in the end, my character will show her that I'm not. And maybe she'll say, okay, maybe he was sincere. Or maybe she won't. I can't live in that. What I do know is what she thinks of me does not control my life's outcome. Just like whatever you guys think about each other is not ultimately going to stop you in your mission. But how we respond will. So that's why I say I think that we all need to be responsible to the platforms that we've taken on, to the people that we're leading, and to the lives that we want to live, and to each other's humanity. All of you guys have your emotions, so you're going to have a tough time seeing through them, but you're responsible for being the one to fight through your emotions and coming up with the outcome that's best suited for peace. And every last one of you said you wanted peace. Everyone needs to work on their self, Doris. This is a true fact. I need to work on myself. It ain't a single one of us on here that is not true about. If you on here and you don't got to work on yourself, put a 1 in the chat. If you're already there yet, if you're already there and you don't got to develop in any area, I just said to you guys that we are reflections of one another. We're surrounded by mirrors. And so if you are looking at your body in a mirror, you're going to see parts of your body that's underdeveloped. You could have been going to the gym forever, but you're going to see the parts that's underdeveloped due to you working on certain parts that maybe was your favorite parts. Maybe you neglected certain workouts because you didn't like how they felt. And now you're going to see the result of that when you see yourself in all those mirrors. If you see a part that's underdeveloped, don't you supposed to focus on it? So every one of us have parts of us that are underdeveloped. It's not for us to judge each other. Ah, you got little arms. You got little biceps. Man, just work on your biceps. Okay, Reddit, and that's understandable. So if you were to put yourself in Ashley's shoes, if she feels strongly in that moment that what happened between her and Jared really happened, and if she feels that you're telling her it didn't happen, she could be blocking you out because she feels like you're trying to cover for him. And you could be truly sincere in what you're saying to her. So what I'm saying is if Ashley D steps back and say, you know what, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt, recognizing that, hey man, I can be wrong. I ain't perfect here. I'll chalk that one up. I'll say, maybe I'm wrong about thinking that Jared was talking about me. What now? I believe Jared would say, okay, cool. Because I can hear it in his voice yesterday. He was truly upset with what's going on. And I can hear it in his voice every time. This is why I try to stay far from stuff. Because I'm very non-biased. I try to stay far from stuff because I do have this natural fear that if I give my opinion, people are going to respond to that opinion with negative treatment towards me because I may not say what they want to hear. But I'm telling you what I see, and I'm telling you the best way to resolve it. And this is the services that people pay for from me. So if you feel that what I'm saying right now isn't helpful, okay. Or maybe you can see why people come to me for guidance and stuff. I can remove my emotions and see the best way to handle it. And I can hear everyone involved. And I hear every last one of you. Thank you so much, HP. Mo the Goat said, I'm still working on myself. That needs to be developed under construction until I'm constructed. Until your heart stops beating, you should be working on yourself. Now, life is about seasons, family. You could spend a lot of your life at one point focusing on your body and how you look. But as you get older, you'll realize no matter how much you focus on it, it will begin to deteriorate. And if you haven't worked on your mind, you're going to see the effects of that. If you haven't worked on your knowledge, then you have to go learn now. Because if you don't correct these things, you're going to keep seeing that weakness displayed in your life. Listen, man, I can't tell y'all what to do. But I can tell y'all that we are all underdeveloped in certain ways. And if we're going to be gathered together as peers, where we'll have eyes on each other, if we can't hear each other, that gives us insight on how we can develop further. The mistakes that you're making, you'll keep making them for the foreseeable future because you're not going to correct those areas that people are telling you. And you will be, if you don't like constructive criticism, you'll have your guard up and feel like somebody doing you wrong because they're telling you something that they see. And that's not wise for someone who really wants to be better, for someone whose goal is to ultimately be their best self. And I always say, make your next religion being the best version of yourself. Ritualistically, apply yourself like you're trying to get closer to God. The best version of yourself. You're trying to get closer to that person. So get yourself straightened out and deal with yourself so you can be as sharp as you possibly can. I see it. I see it in all of you. A greater version of yourself. I see a greater version in myself, and I want to be that. So I can't let people keep tearing me down from being my best person because they said something I didn't like. Truth be told, I'm a whole lot stronger than what I've displayed. I don't have to respond to some of this stuff. Most of what these people are saying don't bother me. I could walk away from Cali and never speak again. And the fact that y'all brought him up just now on this live shows me that that's what I need to do, because I'm not setting the best example. But I'm going to show y'all, first and foremost, that somebody can hate your guts, say the worst things about you, and still have no effect on your life. And you don't have to worry about them. And moving this day forward, I'm going to show you guys that. And I'm asking that y'all follow in my footsteps. Miss White says, I'm exactly where you are with that, Kevin. When people rely on you and utilize you and your services, it's damaging when others say you're not a good person or have bad intentions. It's absolutely true. And that's why I understand it completely where you were coming from yesterday and why you felt like today you wanted to straighten out your reputation. You have every right to do that. But Miss White, you are very insightful. And so I know that you can also understand what it feels like in a moment for you to show up with, even though you're so righteous in what you're saying, and what you're saying is real. A person who is feeling like they're being unheard by others would group you into that and think you're doing the same thing. And in the moment, it may not be the perfect time. Sometimes we don't have any control. And us as Virgos, we're very observant. We're very, we're messengers. We are healers. We are maidens, right? That's why it's represented by a maiden, because they care about people. We always trying to put our neck on the line for other people. So we invest ourselves in things because we don't want to see things happen. But sometimes we do have to just stand back and let life happen. Because I understand is why I did not attack. Thank you so much. Right. Why not put this to bed before they do it on here instead of privately? I don't know if I understand your question. Can you rephrase it? Why not put this to bed before they do it on here instead of private? It sound like you're saying why not do it privately, but then when you say instead of privately, it sounds like you're saying they should do it on a public platform. So I would say that yes, Lakeisha, yeah, Virgo sisters here and brothers, absolutely. But I would say, I think this does need to be something that's publicly displayed. I think that each one of us owes it to our supporters to be a representation of conflict resolution, because that's the whole purpose of our channels and networks, is how to resolve conflicts and resolutions. We've covered a saga for how long on a marriage that broke down, and we've talked about how it could have been resolved. Well, let's show them how well we can apply resolving techniques to have a healthy relationship with each other, or just move forward and bring about peace. We owe that to people because we've been speaking on it for so long. So let's show them how we can do it. Let's put our money where our mouth is. Like I told you, we're missing the forest for the trees. If we fail, family, in this endeavor, this whole thing is going to break down. And I promise you, it's a missed opportunity, because there are so many people out there who could be helped by what we have brought together and what we've created. We came together to support someone through a domestic violence case. But what we have right now is something that can help millions of other people. I've done a great work on my own. Imagine what we all joined together can do, family. I got 1 million followers on one platform, 200,000 on another. What if we all come together with the purpose of doing something positive? Think about you guys' platforms, the supporters that you guys have. Yo, we could utilize all of that and make a big ass difference in this world and blow people's mind. Or we can be caught up into how we personally feel, our personal issues with other trees, and destroy the whole forest, and along with it, everything in it. What are we gonna do? Trees are supposed to receive their energy from the sun and the rain, and then supply that energy to the rest of the forest and the ecosystem. So when the beaver comes and pulls away from the tree via wood to make a house, it's acceptable because the tree will heal. When the bird builds its nest in the home, in the tree, this is what the tree is for. People are going to use you. People are going to take parts out of you. People are going to depend on you for your services. And that's what you're supposed to be for as a tree. People are going to take advantage of your gifts. And that's what they're for. Allow people to receive from you. Don't expect anything in return. And go on and continue being your greatest person, letting your fruit be the witness for you. Bear good fruit. That's all you're responsible for doing, trees. The tree next to you has nothing to do with you. But if you fail to stop producing good fruit, you fail to contribute to the very forest that you're in. I'm not going to talk to you guys are blue in the face. Thank you, Retta. And please don't step away just yet, love. You're too powerful. You matter too much to the people that support you. Don't do that. You're important. And if you do that, people may follow suit. So I ask you, friend to friend, give it a moment. Let's see how everybody moves after this. If anybody hears what I'm saying. And let's move in that way. Let's not jump to conclusions. We're still getting to know each other. Everybody on here is still growing. We still have a place that we're trying to evolve to. Let's give each other that grace, man. Please don't walk away. Please, nobody make any decisions right now to walk away. You've put forth too much work into this to give up on yourself, to give up on all these people. Us walking away is to forsake all the people who depend on us every day for inspiration. Believe it or not, Jared, you became somebody I went to and listened to your lives. I didn't say much, but you was in your live Media Lit 101 channel. You had the jazz music. You was just starting off, and I was saying, this brother got something. I like your dialogue. I like how you talk. I like the vibe. Don't give up. When you said you was giving up, you said, this ain't for me. I'm like, bruh. And that's all the while knowing that you beefing with my friend, Ashley D. I still believe in you. That's why you didn't see me get invested in that. But hearing you say you was going to stop, that really hurt me. It really was like, damn. I hate to see people stop something when I can see that they have something. I really hate that because I like to see everybody move forward with something great. So it really bothers me when people get discouraged and want to quit early. I hate that. I hate when Ashley D talks about it. I hate when Sweet Ma talk about it. That shit bothers me. I hate to see people quit shit. Yo, you keep on going. Don't you let life defeat you. Don't let these people's opinions defeat you. I don't want to start preaching and getting my emotions, man, because I cannot stand people giving up on themselves before it's time. You don't know how powerful you are. You don't know what other people think of you. And so we're only thinking about how we feel in that moment when we're talking about walking away. We're not really thinking about all those people who are now not going to have you and have access to what you were going to do because you walked away. You're God's, or you're God's children, however you want to look at it. But who are you to put down the mission that God put in your hand? Didn't God tell Moses who made man's mouth? As soon as he started stressing that he didn't feel capable about this mission. I got a stutter. Man, who made man's mouth? You say what I said. You don't take apart what people think of you. They're going to think I sound dumb. I stutter, God. You really want me to be your spokesperson? God says, who made your mouth? Noah said, hey, ain't nobody going to take my word for it that it's going to rain. Don't you know I'm a drunk? Don't you know you picked the town drunk? Yeah, I picked you because I wanted the people to see that through me you can be great. So who cares if people think you were drunk? Man, build the ark. Your contribution to being being receptive, to being obedient in this moment is going to create the next world, Noah. Everybody will come through your loins. But you can't allow these people doubting what thus saith the Lord to stop you from creating. That's crazy. Allah Akbar. Whether you guys believe God is real or not, this is very true for many people. And it's even true on a conceptual level. This is why I can say these things. When people don't believe in your mission and they use your past to disqualify you. Do not allow that to disqualify you. You stand firm in the beliefs that you have about this future, and you have faith, unmovable faith, unshakable faith. And you work at it every day until what you believe in your mind is proven to the other people. Hence your arc. Everybody got issues. Everybody deals with jealousy. Everybody deals with envy. These things are natural human emotions, and we shouldn't be shamed for them. We should instead encourage each other out of them. If someone is jealous, then they probably insecure in an area, which is also their right to being human. So instead of jumping on a person, jumping down their throat for being jealous, we can encourage them out of jealousy. But you are right. If we remain in that energy, heal with tree, that jealousy will be the number one thing that divides us. They say we're too jealous, we can't work together. No one supports me, never comment on my stuff. I have offered any assistance, only drama. Good night, love all. Well, hopefully heal with tree. People will be coming, will come to your channel and see what you have to say, and maybe they can offer some support. I have never frankly heard of your channel, and now with that being said, I'll give you a chance there to hear what you have to say. So I don't see everybody's channels, and I'm sure everyone else doesn't either. So in this instance, you may have to ask yourself, could I be wrong? Could people simply be jealous of me and not support me, or have they not had a chance to really see what I have to offer? We all have to start giving the benefit of the doubt, family. But anyway, that being said, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I have said everything I wanted to say, and it is that I trust what every one of you had to say. I believe every one of you are sincere, and you know I care, because as Jared has said, as Miss White has said, I have gone behind the scenes reaching out to you guys individually to try and resolve these conflicts. And I've done this behind the scenes, which means I don't have a personal investment in this. I only wanted to see this thing be made right because I see a great potential here that I believe that we're forfeiting if we don't make it right. So forgive me if you feel like I shouldn't have reached out to anybody on your behalf. I certainly didn't mean to violate anybody by doing so, but I want to see this thing become the thing that I want to see this thing really fulfill its potential. So that's why I reached out to others to try to make this right. Forgive me if you feel I've betrayed you by doing that, but understand that my intentions were good. All right? I love you guys. I really do. I want to see you guys manifest your greatest selves. And I don't want to see you guys held back over nuanced arguments. These things are so nuanced that they're really just about how you guys personally see each thing and how you guys feel about each thing. Let's try and work through them, family, please, for the greater good of everybody involved. Oh, I don't have to meet you to care, love. I don't have to meet you to care. And I think on your best day, you know that's true. I don't have to be around you guys every day to have love in my heart for you. I met you guys at a very traumatic time for myself and my family, watching people destroy my brother. So the love that I have for you guys was spawned on the spot by seeing you guys that didn't have anything to do with this situation put your necks on the line to defend my brother. I know y'all got good in y'all. So I'll always love y'all for that. Even the ones who hate me, I always appreciate them for that side. People are complex, and something about you guys made y'all take to social media and become content creators by means of protecting somebody that y'all thought was being done wrong. Yo, I think the world of y'all. And I just wish y'all thought the world of y'allself. Peace, family.